Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I'm your never humble host, Eric Sizemore, joined by my beautiful co-host, Quiet Michael.
Hey, algorithm.
And coming in from the left coast, Brain Damage.
Yo!
Like and subscribe, smash those buttons because the algorithm wants our souls, and that's the best way to show him fealty. We have a beautiful tradition of doing funny memes. But first, a patented, trademark, copyrighted, essential part of every episode. I got to give you some disturbing news. Just a little disturbing news.
Well, we are number one, so
we did it first. It's been a freaking nutty day, man. I mean, I cannot believe that Nazis and the Holocaust are in the news. The Congo is being invaded by Rwanda. ISIS conducting crazy raids all over the whole freaking country. And you know what people are talking about? Some stupid AI thing. This AI came out of China called DeepSeek, and now all of Silicon Valley has egg on their face because they were like, oh, no, it doesn't really take billions of dollars. You just need to be innovative and creative. And all the tech bros were like, no, man, surely crypto is or somehow more money, billions and billions. Anyway, so that was kind of funny. And even though I own stock in these companies and they all tanked, I was still happy. I was like, invest in creativity. Stop throwing money at you stupid. So anyway, yeah. The market went into panic mode. You can see here this nice red visualized stock chart with Microsoft taking a dive and Nvidia losing 16.8%. It actually erased $600 billion in Nvidia value in a single day, which is a record, new milestone. We did it, people. But here's what nobody is talking about. This is a week later, and it's not bad. I mean, it's just a normal chart. It's just everything's totally back to normal. So anyway, yeah, $600 billion wiped out in a single thing by a side project of a hedge fund, like a quant company. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Hey, meanwhile, South Korean prosecutors on Sunday indicted and impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol on rebellion in connection with his short-lived imposition of martial law. So they just impeached him because they were like, "Wow, you broke the law," and they put him in. Anyway, George, friend of the show, Cruikshank, posted this, and Knuckles Boat Moan said, "Why can't that be us? Why can't it?" Big news in the last week was that Trump freed a ton of terrible people. And one January 6th defendant has been charged with assaulting police. And the DOJ had him arrested again on a gun charge the next day. Well, since then, there's been more. I wish this page would load, but I know that it has something to do with an Indiana man, because we always try to include an Indiana man story. We've been making fun of Indiana here at Facebook for the Blind since 1973. It's a long and fine tradition, usually reserved for when a Hoosier is in the audience, but any port in a storm, my computer's witty banter, computer's frozen. God damn it.
Boy, Indiana sure sucks.
See? It's like easy. It's easy. Did you ever do the 500? Did you ever go over to Indianapolis for the 500?
Are you talking about the Indy 500?
Yeah, the Indy 500.
Dude, funny you should ask. No.
Yeah. I went because I heard that it is the Guinness World Record for the biggest white trash party in North America, and God damn it if that's not true.
No way, dude. Sturgis.
I know, but see, you can bring in more stuff. Like the people bring in RVs full of stuff. It's crazy. Anyway, but yeah, good times. But the tap water tastes like gasoline. Yeah. Indiana man who was pardoned by Trump is then fatally shot during a traffic stop. This is like yesterday. Like he just got released and got into it with a cop at a traffic stop. Now he's dead. He's dead now. So just a quick recap. Trump has blamed other countries for sending us criminals, but he pardoned 1,500 actual criminals. We got one who threw an explosive at the Capitol Police. He was arrested again on gun charges, a literal bomb thrower. That's kind of fun, right? Another guy shot in an armed standoff with police. Another is currently at large for soliciting a minor. And they're walking around right now with their chest puffed out, thinking they got a permanent get out of jail card. So we'll continue to follow stories of that. Meanwhile, up in Chicago, there was this cop who wore an extremist mask to racial justice protests. He faces a reprimand after years-long probe. Can you believe that, guys? A reprimand.
Wow. Whole career.
Dude, reprimanded. Can you believe that? Just 5 years was the justice of the reprimand delayed. So anyway, guys, there's Nazis in the police now.
What?
I know. I know. I'm just as shocked as you are.
I was just joking, Eric. I wasn't shocked.
I wasn't either. Hashtag ACAB. Meanwhile, the Jewish Chronicle brings us this story of a white supremacist and members of neo-fascist group who were among the January 6th patriots. Another writer had a conviction, wore anti-Semitic sweatshirt, and SS skulls and all this stuff. And see, I have a blocker, so the people watching the show right now are just seeing kittens because I don't want to show anything related to these people because it keeps my blood pressure a lot lower. But I found a picture of them anyway. Look at this dip. Look at this dip. This guy got clemency. He actually shaved his I think nostril hair, because surely that's too weak to be a mustache, into a little Hitler, into a little Hitler thing, and he's giving the Roman salute. So weird, giving the Roman salute like Elon.
He knows the Roman salute too, huh?
Yeah. Apparently he did it in the Navy, and they asked him to leave.
Yeah.
Is what I could be, so, yeah, Nazi punks. Elon's dad had his own explanation for his son's evocative come on, his Nazi Sieg Heil. His Nazi Sieg Heil. All right. And you guys have seen this all week. Everybody and their brother talking about, how this wasn't a Nazi salute or it's all just very fine and good. Okay. But here's the interesting thing that I pulled out of here that I didn't see anybody else is that in another interview that Elon Musk's dad did, he revealed that Elon's maternal grandparents were Hitler supporting members of the Canadian Nazi Party who moved to South Africa because they strongly approved of the racist apartheid regime. Did you ever wonder why they moved to South Africa? Because they were into it. Not that people's maternal grandparents palling around with Werner von Braun and reading stories to their children about Nazis is bad. And that's where Elon's name came from. But anyway, just a lot of Nazis. And guys, I feel like we just sprayed for Nazis. As I mentioned earlier before the show, federal health agencies are told to halt all external communications. So all kinds of stuff that has gone out every week. Remember how we used to hear about COVID or flu or bird flu? Remember there was that big bird flu thing that was breaking out? Well, the administration has fixed that because now, we're not going to hear about it. So, and I had a friend of mine in an MBA course, and he taught me a very important lesson. And today I learned a corollary, which is that if you don't measure it, you don't have to manage it. So, don't measure it or report it. You don't have to do anything about it. Really interesting statement happened here earlier this week. I don't know if you happen to see this, but Speaker of the House Johnson who is a white nationalist prick. He advised against the subpoena of January 6th witness over concerns about sexual texts from lawmakers. You guys remember Cassidy Hutchinson, who testified? Top aide Mark Meadows testified, before Congress in the impeachment and investigations that didn't actually go to the Justice Department, or maybe they did. And Merrick Garland just like he put him aside, he lost him, set him aside. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, basically what Johnson is saying is that hey, don't Republicans do not subpoena Cassidy Hutchinson because that will end up putting all of your lawmakers' dick pics into the congressional record. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. That is exactly what it is. I know you're like, oh, is that a bad joke? No, that's really what it is.
I will tell you, a lot of people don't know this, but Speaker Johnson's last name is also a euphemism for penis.
I know. I know. It used to be one of my favorite euphemisms until he got that name. And now I don't even want to bring it up. I don't even want to bring it up.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm over it. So yeah, a lot of people still talking about the Nazi salutes and whatnot. Oh, and an interesting piece that I did not see in the big time news was that in a case that is being filed, a class action lawsuit, Iglesias versus Southern California Edison Company. And if you don't know Con Ed in Southern California, what a remarkably responsible corporation they are. I think they're responsible for only all of the fires in Southern California. I could be wrong, but sure feels like all of the fires. So here's a security camera from a gas station that they zoomed in on. Really good editing, by the way. The attorneys in this case got really good video editors. They pointed at the sparks, and you could see like metal dripping from an electrical tower. And then this nice shot, 10 minutes later, fire trucks on the way. And this is the origin of the Eaton fire. So best of luck to Iglesias. I hope you see the pants off Southern California Edison Company. I hope the California finally nationalizes that company and runs it for the good of the state and the people of California instead of profit. Just an idea, just a thought. Just a thought. Hey, we always like to close out the news on Facebook for the Blind with a nice, heartwarming animal story. And that's when I like to turn to my least favorite tabloid, the New York Post. When we have from the weird but true department, UK Navy mistook a farting whale for phantom Russians trying to track their nuclear subs. And the first sentence is just, it's the hunt for Red Farttober. And
Wow.
that
it's pretty good. I do hate the British and the Russians, but that's pretty good.
And all of it. I hate myself.
That wasn't a joke. I don't like either of those places or the people who live there.
No, I know. We've talked about it before. We've talked about the enormous trash pile that's swirling in the ocean called.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like most places or the people who live there.
Djibouti.
Djibouti's so funny that I don't even care. But like France, yeah. I don't know. Spain,
I like to go.
I don't like the way that they say the what's that place in Spain? Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Grow up.
Barcelona.
Grow up.
I love when people talk in ways that surprises me. So I love traveling to other places and hearing people say fun things. I do.
I've been to all the places. You don't want to know what? It's fine.
Yeah. Handing it over to my beautiful co-host, Quiet Michael.
I'm in mood, Eric.
Probably has, I'm going to guess, an exactly average size round one.
You know better than that, Eric. It's a big, long round one, and it's coming your way. Can you see the fucking thing? Don't look at that. Can you see this one?
Yep.
First meme coming to you is from Robin Wig, at Robin Wig, who's retweeting Guy Walters, Ukraine flag. It's two pictures here. It's Finland's prime minister in 1922, old man with John Lennon glasses and a massive mustache, and Finland's prime minister in 2022. It's a young woman with jorts and a leather jacket. Robin says he's aged incredibly well. Such a stupid joke. Trash Can Paul.
Hey,
You know I'm having a
Paul.
day when Trash Can Paul's this early in the set. There's a
Yeah.
picture of a F-150 4x4 and I don't know, fucking sand dunes or something. It says, I can't wait to be done bitching about the cold so I can start bitching about the heat. All right, this, I don't know where I stole this from.
Oh, whoa.
For our listeners, I'm sorry, this just is not going to translate, but
Jesus.
it's just a very unsettling picture. And it says, my brother turned his head during a panoramic shot.
Oh.
And his face is just on sideways. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Lena at I guess this could be read banal play, but it also looks like at B anal play.
I'm going
Says,
at B anal play.
when I say if I recall or if I remember correctly, I am being polite about being right. I remember and I am correct.
I feel this one.
This one's funny. It's from Shithead Steve and Trash Can Paul. They kind of joined
Yeah.
forces for this one. And anyway, there's a retweet of Max Velocity,
Okay.
who's reporting falling iguanas alert. Get ready, Florida. Falling iguanas are possible tomorrow morning due to below freezing temps and wind chills in many areas. And Grip Skylark says, the fuck you mean falling iguanas? I don't have an answer for it. I just think it's weird. Sulky says, please text me back. I'm about to start making stuff up in my head, and the stuff is all bad. We be like, friend of the show, we be like, says, and I quote, there's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee. Eric, do you know what comes next?
Yeah.
This? Does anybody know?
I do.
You can fool me once. Shame on you.
Yeah.
Fool me twice. Well, you ain't gonna fool me again.
You can't get fooled again. That's the point. It's can't get fooled again. Fucking moron.
This will be my last one for this round. Shithead Steven Trash Can Paul again. And it's a picture of, gotta be either Nicolas Cage or a Nicolas Cage lookalike.
Ooh. Yeah.
Sorry, swallowing a yawn. And it says, IQ test came back negative. God is good.
God.
And that's all I have for my big long round one. Kicking it over to Brain Damage.
All right, let's try this out. Hopefully I get this right. Nope, of course we didn't. All right, let's try it this way then. We're going to go with, all right, I got to move all this shit out my way. Stupidity is painful. We have some kind of cartoon AI picture of an old grumpy dog sitting in a lawn chair holding some coffee with his eyes drooping low. And it says, they say with age comes wisdom. So therefore, I don't have wrinkles. I have wisecracks.
Listen, that's a shit joke, but that is a great voice for this dog. It's spot on. That is exactly what this dog sounds like.
I got that one from an old Bay Area commercial where he says he breaks somebody's lamp that he borrowed without asking. He says, borrowing without asking. There's like 102 stupid things to do. All right. The linguist has there are 3 cats in some kind of like outfit, martial arts outfits or monk outfits. They're like white monk outfits, I guess. They're standing with their arms out, and it says, I never finish anything. I have a black belt in partial arts.
It's so dumb. I love it.
Tyrone has an old black and white picture of a black and white TV with a child in a striped shirt standing next to it, turning a knob, and it says the rare photo of a remote control in the 70s. I was a child. Yes, I was.
Yeah, me too.
My dad used to call me from playing outside, call me in to change the station. I was like, this is some bullshit. What the fuck? I was on second base. They called me out. All right. Humor is infectious. That's a kickball joke. Anyways, we have 2 coffee cups side by side. The first one has a piece of bacon. The second one has a fried egg, and the bacon one says, "Don't go baking my heart."
Oh,
And the second one says, "I couldn't if I fried."
Oh my
All
god.
right, moving on.
usually I give you a pass on the puns, but goddamn, dude.
I wasn't sure if I did that one before, but I asked Diane before she left, and she said, "I don't think so." And she usually remembers stuff like that. So if you guys remember and we didn't, I'm blaming it on her.
No!
Lou,
We don't blame you.
baby.
We don't blame you.
Lou Memes has an AI picture of Jada Pinkett Smith, but with a Darth Sidious hood over her head, and her eyes have like a red contacts, and it says Jada Pinkett Sith with Darth Vader's ghost behind her. And I did that just so I could do Photoshop Tommy made starring Jada Pinkett Smith, and it has her face photoshopped over Smeagol, aka Gollum. And it says Lord of the Flings. And then we have a cartoon picture somebody named Will Santino drew of Gandalf and the Hobbits meeting Elrond. And it says, "I got super baked and in the Shire and accidentally recruited these 4 little weirdos for the most important mission of all time." We have This Week in Geek Radio has an album cover of all 4 of the Hobbits, plus somebody else. I don't know who the fuck else is there, but it says Imagine Baggins. Imagine Baggins
Nice.
of the Shire. And yeah, this was my wish TD was here around. Dwarves, Elves, and Men says, "You want a conspiracy theory? I'll give you a conspiracy theory." And here we have side by side the Shire, and the same area is the Teletubbies' home. Then we have the 4 Hobbits, the 4 Teletubbies. And then we have the Eye of Mordor in the sky, and we have the Teletubbies' sun with the baby's face on it. And that is the kind of conspiracy theory that I'm into, or not.
I tell you what, man, that baby's funny.
Yeah. And then we're gonna leave off with this one. And yes, I did nerd this round out. I don't give a fuck. Says Awesome Science posted, "When you think about it," and we have a picture of Gandalf when he's falling from the bridge and he whips his last whip. Or actually, he defeated the Balrog and the Balrog takes him down. But it says, "When you think about it, remember that time Gandalf convinced the whole party to flee so that they could take out the Balrog and not have to share any of the experience points? Shows up all next season with fancy new robes and everything, all kinds of new gear. What a jerk." Yes, that is nerd lore and video game lore at the same time. TD, I miss you, buddy.
Oh, totally, totally. To all our fans out there in video world, by the way, guys, we've had like 2,000 plays of these videos over the last month, which is crazy. Like, so to all of you out there in YouTube world that are watching this, thank you. We love you. Leave us a
Why
comment.
are you guys watching?
Dude, a lot of people watch podcasts, and I get it with our memes and stuff. All right, to round 1, the ostensibly wholesome round. Here, Mike Ingram for everyone, and if you're not following Mike Ingram for everyone, why not?
You should.
Yeah, totally. He's captioned this post, "What a time to be alive this was," because we have an old post from Andrew at Hunty_Dumpty. Says, "What's your favorite forgotten celebrity controversy? Mine is when Justin Bieber visited the Anne Frank house and said that Anne would have been a belieber."
It's still pretty fucking bad.
Circa 2013, yeah. Yeah, I got an Anne Frank joke right in the top of the wholesome round.
It's like reading the crowd. More Anne Frank jokes coming your way.
Favorite bishop of the show, Facebook for the blind, patron saint bishop, whatever we call her, I don't know. Sandy posts this one that says Bishop takes king. And we see the bishop at the inaugural flicking the crown off a tiny, upset toddler Trump. And Sandy's captioned it checkmate. And a lot of people commented that really he is just a Russian pawn. So, bishop takes pawn.
I never got that kind of mileage off a pawn in chess.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, the guy's fucking bad, but like,
he's just jealous because she can move as many squares as she wants diagonally. He's stuck waddling one square at a time, doing that weird dance he does.
Yeah. The dick dance.
The dick shuffle, the dick dance. Yeah, it is. It's like a double. Anyway, the other 98% on the bishop story says when atheists support the bishop that speaks like Jesus and the quote Christians want her deported, you know something's up. Yep. Something's up. Guys, I gotta point this out. This is absolutely insane. So I've been tracking stories lately where weirdo conservatives or Republicans or Trumpsters or whatever we're calling this gaggle of weirdos in DC now. They keep calling the president daddy. Have you seen this?
No.
Have you heard this?
Yeah, it's
No.
really, really, really fucking cringe.
Really creepy. Tucker Carlson did it. That one guy, was it Byron Dorgan, did it. Here we have Mel Gibson trying to remain relevant. He's up here. I'm sure he's going to play RFK in the movie. But Hegseth was confirmed as Secretary of Defense, and Mel Gibson says, I'm glad Trump is here. It's like daddy arrived and he's taking his belt off.
Ew. What?
Ew. Ew. Seriously, it's just, I'm not even going to read anymore. But he's not the only one. Lorena Bobbitt, whatever, Boebert, she did. It's just gross. It's just really gross. And I'm pretty sure that PhDs will be written on this weird psychosexual obsession. It is freaking bizarre. Anyway, in that vein, an oldie but a goodie popped up in my memory file, and it's a 4-panel cartoon. We have a man in a suit, and he is clearly stabbing another person. And somebody runs up in the middle and says, wait! And the person says, help, I'm being stabbed. And the guy in the middle has an arm around each of them. And he says, wow, tricky situation. Difficult to know what's really going on. Don't want to do anything crazy here. What if you kept things as they are, but only moved the knife a few inches more into them each financial year? And he puts his thumb up, and it's billed centrism. Ding! That was posted in Old Friends of the Show. I will trebuchet this individual into space gulag. Head Conrad there says centrism, not even once. This is meth commercials. Here's a guy with a really bad haircut. Oh, it's Elon. Says Tesla brand value has shed $15 billion because the cars are an aging lineup. They haven't updated them, and Musk is at the helm. And people are selling their cars, selling the stock, selling. He's going down. The hype is coming out of the sales. If you own Tesla stock, I would not recommend holding on to it. Oh, my friend, Jenny Bento, has posted this with an amen from Reagan Gomez. And Reagan Gomez says, I will always laugh at this. At the cut some time ago, back in 2016, is a picture of Whoopi Goldberg smiling and says, Whoopi Goldberg's thoughts on marriage. Quote, I don't want somebody in my house. That is such a tight thought, Whoopi. And I am 30 AF thought this was worthy of posting, and I agree. That's Whoopi, you killing it. East Coast It Notes, friend of the show. If you're not following East Coast It Notes, I don't know what you're coming up with to put on sticky notes, because this cartoonist has all the best ideas. We see a 4-panel here, 4 sticky note panels, by the way. And we see a little stick man, and he is pondering a large bag of creative ideas. We see balloons, and there's like, you know, some army men coming out of it, or like some barrel of monkeys. There's a sword, there's a robot head, and he says, "All right, let me grab a pen." Turns around, picks up a pen, turns around, gone. Go. And it's captioned, "Oh, come on, it was right there." I feel this one in my bones like every stinking day. One of my posts with the most, and I will stick it in the first round, is this. It just says, quote, "Woke is knowing that acquiring Canada, Greenland, and the Panama Canal will not bring the price of eggs down." It's resonated with a lot of my fans. Kind of like that. And then I had a bunch of people talking about Greenland and saying maybe we were going to get eggs from Greenland. And I'm like, frozen eggs? I was like, there's an in vitro fertilization joke there somewhere. It's for you all. And lastly, friend of the show, Craze, Kraze, has a picture of a man in an air mattress with his shoulders already on the carpet. And it says, "An air mattress is great when you want to sleep on the floor, but not right away."
God, that's so true. It's so good.
Every time. And that wraps up my wholesome round. Handing it back to you, Mr. Michael, for a round 2.
Yeah, here comes the second round, starting with moister than most.
Dark mode. No visual contact. Roger that.
Friend of the show, moister than most.
I can hear you saying it, but I can't see anything.
Oh.
I know. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of dark news.
Hey.
Oh, wait. No, I don't. I love being the bearer of dark news. I'm like,
We're number one.
constantly, here's something disturbing. Oh, it's
How about
Muzzy.
Can we see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Moister than most has a picture of some big green fluffy monster thing, and it says
His name's Muzzy.
named Muzzy, and it says, "Sorry if I was spicy. I did a weed. I feel better now."
So dumb.
Step bro. Steve, friend of the show, reluctantly, he's got this picture of some kind of goulash. I don't know.
Hmm.
And it says, "Just made about 15 servings of the worst pasta I have ever had in my entire life."
Huh.
Sorry.
Weird.
Impreg Mafia.
Hey.
At pretty little take machine dot is dash extreme. I don't know.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It says, "I wish it need not have happened in my time," said Frodo. "Haha," said Gandalf, hitting his weed pen for the 18th time in the past hour. "Ha ha. Fuck."
It's hard to be a wizard, man.
Yeah, man. So, Bell Archival has this picture of Batman meets Scooby Doo. It's a freeze frame, and in the picture, oh, I'm gonna probably need help with these names.
I see Velma
Velma,
and
Fred,
Daphne and Fred
Daphne, and Batman.
and Fred. Yeah.
And it says, "Why the fuck does Shaggy look like that?" For a second, it took me a second to get what they mean, but they mean obviously Batman. Lewis says, "Shaggy locked the fuck in." Eric, I think I want you to read this one for me.
This is anime girl with blood on her lips is the avatar, and her catch-all title is Pig Whiskers. One day ago said, "If Willy Wonka was a New Yorker, he'd be like, 'Hey, I'm wonking here.'"
You got to do it like a New Yorker, though.
I didn't. Close enough.
Hey, I'm wonking here.
Got it in one.
M. Nate Shyamalan says,
Oh, I love M. Night Shyamalan.
Friend of the show, we love you. It says, Guns N' Roses' only criteria for calling a place paradise: 1, women are attractive; 2, grass normal color. Here's a picture of Bobby Hill. Looks tired. He has coffee, and it just says, "Drink coffee and destroy." That's how I am every morning.
Yep.
Moister Than Most is back. I got to listen. Okay, I'll just admit it. I think this person's funny. There's a picture of a tub where instead of seeing like body wash and shampoo on the side of the tub, on that little ledge in the tub, there's just yellow mustard and ketchup, and it just says it all caps, impact font. I can fix him. I got a couple more. Steph Hertzens says POV Melania hashtag inauguration 2025, and then you look and it's just like a picture of like the rotunda, but about 60% of the screen is blacked out. I'm guessing because of her hat.
Oh.
Moist Buddha, friend of the show, keeping
Buddha.
it moist, keeping it Buddha.
Love that guy.
He's here with Shithead Steve, who Shithead Steve he doesn't seem to give me any stuff on his own anymore. He's just always piggybacking off Moist and Trash Can. But anyway, says important message for everyone in Florida. And then there's a picture of a alligator or a crocodile, I don't know, in some snow. And it says, if you're cold, they're cold. Bring them inside. This will be my last meme for round 2. Zombie Nassim. He posts a picture of himself on the street. He's got his headphones in. He's walking with some toilet paper, it looks like. He says, about a year ago, I was walking home carrying toilet paper, and a teenager yelled, "That guy be shitting." And his friends laughed and laughed. I never thought I'd be able to walk with TP and no tote bag. But today, I stopped living in fear. We're happy for you, Zombie. Proud of you. And that's all I got for round 2. Kicking it back to Brane.
All right. I'm sorry I'm doing this to you guys. No, I'm fucking not.
Yeah.
All right. This is my bitching round, and it's starting with NFC West Warzone. It says a graph on who everyone is rooting for in the Super Bowl. And a couple weeks ago, I did this same or last week I did this poster showing that when it was versus the Bills versus Kansas City, this Kansas City was highlighted and everything else was the Bills. The Eagles were highlighted, everything else was the Washington Commanders. Of course, a few weeks ago, I said the Super Bowl we all wanted, and it showed the Lions versus the Bills. Lions got themselves eliminated week 1, but the Super Bowl we knew we were going to get with the scripts, yes. Eagles versus fucking Chiefs again. Yes, I'm a salty Niner fan. But it shows that everywhere else is the gray area. And everyone else is rooting for a meteor strike. Yes, a fucking meteor strike. Fuck those Swifties. All right. Fake Sports Center posted a flag was called just in case Kincaid caught it. The last play of the game, they all out blitzed Josh Allen, and he threw it up for grabs. And a flag came out right at the end, because somebody almost caught the damn thing. He didn't catch it, and they said, "Oh, all of a sudden, there's no flag. There's no flag." Yep. Here we have NFL memes, and it shows Andy Reid with the Chiefs talking with a whole group of referees, and it says Andy Reid giving his star players a prep talk before the game. Every 50-50 call goes for the Chiefs. NFL memes again. He thinking about the bag of cash waiting for him in the locker room. And it's what else could the ref be possibly looking at? And you see the ref looking right here. What he's doing is, look, he's daydreaming about Mahomes. Meanwhile, here we have the offensive lineman clotheslining the defense in, trying to get around to sack Mahomes, but no holding calls called.
Blind.
It's funny or it's offensive. Posted a picture of Mahomes trading jerseys with the ref. And then we have KNBR, local radio station for the San Francisco Giants, posted, who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? Eagles, Chiefs, Bane, ding, 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 ding. I wish I did that line where he said something about, I was rooted in it. And then we have Diane Lopez, my beautiful wife, put Brain Minus the
Hey.
Podcast and Black Adam Schefter back in 2022. Posted men will watch a sports game, then immediately after watch all the highlights on the said game. Then the next day watch 4 different shows and listen to 3 different podcasts, analyzing, giving opinions on the game. And this is for every single game. This holds truth that is dear to my heart. And I had one, I couldn't find it. It said something about men will sit around all day and just name different random sports players and have a great time. And that is truth as well. Which led me to we don't know sports. And we have a picture of Kevin Mitchell catching the ball with his bare hand. It says, you may be badass, but you'll never be Kevin Mitchell catching a fly ball barehanded over his shoulder badass.
Ooh.
Yes, he played for the San Francisco Giants in the 80s. I was a little kid watching this game live. And yes, he played Ozzie Smith a little shallow, overshot the ball, and he turned an error into a great play of all time, and it was amazing. He was one of my favorite players. And yes. And then I'll leave it off with this. Just want to show some love with Supreme Fitness, showing a picture of Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. And it says at one point, Triple G had an incredible 8-year knockout streak during which he knocked out 23 consecutive opponents. Only knows that no boxing, know just how incredibly unique that was and what a beast this man was. And yes, Triple G, we do thank you for your efforts. And I do love those 2 fights with Canelo, even though I think he should have won the draw, and the draw should have been the one where Canelo won. But I just had to do a sports round because fuck you guys. That's why.
Okay. I see how you are. I will see your sports round and not respond to anything. All right, going into the round 2, the irreverent round.
That's why it's irrelevant.
I thought you guys might get it's irascible in a second here, boys. Don't make me pull this show over. I thought you guys might get a kick out of the oldest recorded joke. I have seen this before, so I thought I would share it. It dates back to 1900 BC in ancient Sumer, the earliest known civilization in Mesopotamia, and basically goes something like this. Something which has never occurred since time immemorial. A young woman did not fart in her husband's lap. That's the joke. So the oldest joke, 4,000 years old, it's a fart joke. So there you go. So we've carried it a long way. Friend of the show, Steve Rendell, posts this one along, says, I don't know why there's still articles speculating about whether Musk cheated at video games by paying others to boost his scores to the top ranks. I mean, after weeks of lies and denials, Musk has admitted it. So I don't know. I know it's not an important story, but it does demonstrate that Musk admits to lying and cheating. And I was just like, I mean, you guys heard this story, right? That he wants to be known. He goes on podcast and he's like, oh, you're the best Quake player ever. What, like all this stuff. He's like, yeah, I think, yeah, I actually am. And I'm sitting here going, guys, who the fuck wants the respect of gamers? like, no, man, there's millions of guys in their mom's basements and like, I want to be their hero. Like, what? I don't. I thank God, hashtag blessed. Feminist News has this post from Words Matter at MilJ919 says, the great thing about the anti-trans executive order is that since it was written by morons, it refers to sex as fixed at conception. Everyone in the U.S. is now female.
Hey.
I don't know if you knew that, but, when you're a zygote, we're fixed at conception. So
Not me, Eric.
Milady, I beg to differ.
Well played.
The garbage disposal has this picture of one of the tiny little Phillips head screwdrivers. It says, it's so cold, this used to be a full-size screwdriver.
It's a penis joke.
I was mad at myself for laughing at this, and I was like, they'll like it. 1 year ago, Premium Internet Curation. If you're not following Premium Internet Curation, you are missing out. He posted this from Reddit in Today I Learned. Says, today I learned that Marvel successfully argued in court that mutants are not people and thus got to pay a lower rate on X-Men toys instead of the higher rate for dolls because they are not human. And THXXX1337 says, this is exactly the sort of thing that pissed off Magneto.
Well, you know that THXXX1337 does not read comic books.
But he watched the movies and he makes a tight punchline.
Because Magneto never wanted to be considered human.
Rebecca Haynes, friend of the show, Rebecca Haynes, author, posts this picture that's been going around. I don't know if you saw this from the 605, the Cybertruck that is hiked up on the concrete median. There's, cops, cop cars surrounding it. But this thing is, it's got one wheel over the edge. It's at like a 45-degree angle. Anyway, there's quite a few people passed around this picture of the Cybertruck, crash there on the 605. And Rebecca Haynes says, this Cybertruck did not crash. I have compared this photo to historic car crashes from the 1930s and 1940s, and its angle is 30 degrees, less than the crashed cars of that era, which everyone knows set the standard for the modern definition of car crash. Ergo, this is not a car crash, and all you haters should stop grasping at straws. Why are you so desperate and obsessed? Because it was captioned to, this wasn't a car crash. This was just an ill-advised gesture that in the moment might have been misinterpreted as a crash, but we shouldn't rush to judgment.
Because Elon's a Nazi.
Because Elon's a Nazi. Yeah. You should give him the Nazi salute. I liked it too. I saw somewhere somebody said, would people stop comparing Elon Musk to Adolf Hitler? Adolf Hitler built good cars.
Yeah. He reminds me of did you ever watch that movie Mystery Man?
Yes.
When he's like, you're not Captain Amazing. Captain Amazing does not wear glasses. You do wear glasses. It's like exactly like that, man.
Oh my God. All right, moving on, about halfway through here. Just want to remind you here in the National Strategic Stockpile of Memes and Satire that Musk's portrait has been taken down from the Deutsche Museum in Munich. So ask Germany if it was just a wave. Anti-QAnon memes posted this one a while back from A.R. Moxon, friend of the show at Julius Goat, says, me emerging from a tank that I have driven through your house. Now is a time for healing. I note the date here. This is right after January 6th, but not the part where the Republicans all said it was Trump's fault and awful. But later, when they were like, was fine. It was just tourists. It says, me emerging from a tank. Then now is a time for healing. We could use divisive words like grandmother and crushed and dead, but I would rather get down to the work of mending this badly divided house. No, I'd rather you get down to that work. I have a tank to drive.
Right.
And then finally, it would be a mistake to investigate who drove a tank through whose house. That sort of rank partisan vindictiveness would only divide our fractured unity and could lead to further tanks. All the way back from February 8th in 2021, but just fresh. It's just a daisy. Hey, Pete Hegseth's new nickname is Anheuser Douche.
He's fucking Nazi scum too.
He really is, man. That shot of him in the hot tub guzzling champagne, and you can see his Nazi tattoo sticking out from under his white shirt. I'm like, how do you still have a job? Like, it's unbelievable. Yeah, and that Christian nationalism stuff is nothing to sneeze at either. We need to talk about that at some point. Maybe in a different podcast, Michael.
Down.
All right, got about 2-3 left here. Best and worst of Twitter 2. And if you're not following the best of worst Twitter 2, you are missing out. Friend of the show, Russell Reynolds, has reposted this from Mog! ! At Mog ONV. says seeing young teens going, I wish I could have experienced the 2000s. Ugh, Y2K was so slay. No, it wasn't. People called men who showered every day metrosexual. That's two more for my irreverent round. Here we have a picture of Luigi, and his head has been posted onto the Bernie in the cool coat pitch where he was like, once again, I am asking. This is posted in Luigi's Mansion of Socialist Shitposting, and if you're not following Luigi's Mansion of Socialist Shitposting, I think you should check your shitpost levels because I bet you're running a little low. Anyway, here we have Luigi as Bernie in the coat, and he says, if you've read a history book, then you know that Elon Musk is a problem for which there is only one solution. And in the next scene, we see a picture of sort of a toddler, Elon, being chased by a Luigi. And it's gratifying. It's kind of gratifying to look at him. And finally, wrapping up my irreverent round 2, Ariel Elias, comedian and friend of the show, says they want to get rid of DEI. Meanwhile, it takes 2 Hardy Boys to do the job of 1 Nancy Drew. And that is wrapped up my round 2. Handing it back to you, Michael, for, oh my gosh, the penultimate round.
Penultimate round. That's right, Eric. We're already at the penultimate.
It's crazy. So much pen.
This is the second to last round, too.
Oh,
Sam Greisman retweets Popcrave. Has a picture of some lady in Roosevelt Elementary. And it says, a Florida elementary school principal was arrested for throwing an alcohol-fueled house party attended by more than 100 underage students.
elementary.
I know. And Sam
Wow.
Greisman says, Melissa McCarthy, get your Oscar, baby, because she really does look like Melissa McCarthy should play her in the movie. How does it even fucking happen? Anyway, Ann Chovy says British people are like, I was in uni, and they mean preschool or some bullshit. I don't know. I'm tired of their asses. Trash Can Paul's back. He says drew a picture of Colorado from memory, and it's just the outline of the state of Colorado. It's a rectangle. It's just a rectangle. Perk at Perk the Goat has a picture of French fries and black olives. Just that's it. It's just styrofoam filled with French fries and black olives, and says British people probably call this nuts and bolts or some shit. Their food is fucking trash. Cultural weather vane. It says this feels like when Scar took over Pride Rock and all the hyenas were hype.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly right, man.
Yep.
I like this one. This was sent to us from friend of the show, friend of mine, Mary. It's a picture of the like sad Chad, and it says the circle of life. I meet someone, we talk. I explain that Lego people live in houses made of their own flesh. They leave. I meet someone.
No.
And the cycle continues. Just 2 more for this round.
Oh man.
The Leslie Garr has a quote, Jesus, be merciful and help the downtrodden. That fucking guy. Okay, first of all, rude. And the next one I have also about the preacher. It's like from Alice in Wonderland, and it's a screaming flower, super angry in the top panel. And it says, how dare a preacher tell us to be more like Christ in church? And
Yeah, right.
The flower is all bashful and innocent looking and says, he was just giving people his heart, not saluting like a Nazi. And that's all I have for the penultimate round. But given the time, I'm jumping ship and going to my post with the most.
Oh, look at you.
And my post with the most this week comes from Kill at Ethniagami, who says, we was not supposed to know this many people existed, let alone they thoughts. And I could not agree more. And that's all I have for round 3, the penultimate round, leaving only my post with the most, which is also done. That's it for me tonight.
Oh my gosh, look at you.
Love you, George. Kicking it over to brain damage.
All right. This one, we're starting with old timers, and we have a picture of a woman who looks like she's maybe from the 50s or something. She's got like some flannel shirt on with some overall type apron, and she's thinking in her head in a bubble cloud, damn it, I wish one of my personalities liked to clean. And then we have somebody named Amy Dodd Pinkington, and there's a picture of what is it called? Chick, like a baby bird, baby chicken.
Yep. Chick.
And it has a knife in its hand. It says, "Yeah, stability to stab, stability." Yay! Yep, Amy Dodd Pinkington. I like it. Something says weird, strange, and interesting. Has a picture of some kind of germ, and it says a creature known as a tardigrade has survived all 5 mass extinction events. It can live in boiling water, solid ice, and in the intense radiation of space. It can survive a decade in the desert without a drop of water to drink, or in the deepest trenches of the sea. And yeah, that thing just looks like I don't want to live forever if I'm that fucking ugly. Fuck that thing. God damn, that thing is hideous.
I love me some tardigrades. They're adorable.
Yeah, it just looks like a fucking piece of ginger, also mixed with like a deformed, uncircumcised, but circumcised at the same time. I'm moving on, Eric. We're moving on, okay?
Sure.
All right, we're gonna look at it for 2 more seconds, and then 2, 1. All right, moving on. My beautiful wife Diane Lopez posted some that where Caitlyn Jenner tweeted, "Congratulations, Mr. President. Thanks be to God." And someone named Olivia Juliana at Olivia Juliana put, "He ordered the government to call you Bruce." Something wrote, "Bruce thought he was exempt." That's fucked up. Fucked up. And yeah, this shit is confusing. Erica Combs at 2 a.m. Thoughts and Wow Scenery. They wrote, "Lord, put the gas I got in my stomach in my car. Please." That's the only fucking gas I got left. And here we have at Astro Ashby with a picture of Huey from the Boondocks.
Oh, yeah.
This is an actual quote from the Boondocks, actually. So credit to Aaron Magruder, because this was, season 1 traits. And he says, "So if we lie to the government, it's a felony? But if they lie to us, it's politics?"
Yeah.
Seems a little unfair there. I can't remember who posted this one, and it wouldn't let me screenshot the name, so I had to just save it. And it's some kind of AI picture of like some crazy looking blue frog type of thing with a gigantic mouth wide open, looking very happy, but also crazy with these big old eyes, and he's got goggles. And it says, "I'm losing my mind. As long as I keep the part that tells me when I'm gonna pee, it should be okay." Here we got Off the Mark with a 2-panel cartoon with a fish holding a birthday card that says, "You're a big boy now." He opens it and says, "Big enough to be cooked and eaten instead of thrown back. Happy birthday."
Oh, God. Mazel tov.
Brenda Brown posts a picture of a chicken looking through very angrily through a fence. It says, "Did you know if you say fuck off really fast, you sound like a chicken?" Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. I know you just tried it. Oh, yeah, I did. Spoiler alert. And this is going to be like my last one for this round. Leaving only posted the most is Peyton Turner. Sweet memes are made of grease. Wow Scenery.
Ooh.
It's a picture of an old black rotary telephone.
Oh, my God.
And it says, "Not to brag, but I was alive when you could slap the phone down to hang up on someone." It was spectacular. And yes, it was. Yes,
It really was.
yes. You guys have no idea how the clicks worked, and it just was amazing.
I got to visit the first place that I was ever like a manager, and
Hail
and
Satan!
today I went back to the old office, and I was like, oh my God, I've made phone calls on a rotary dial telephone in that back room.
I was telling the people in my class today because only me and the teacher are old enough to know these kind of things. He's only 30. He just barely turned 38 though, and I was telling him how back in the days I didn't have
Right.
I didn't have a quarter for the payphone. I'd have to call moms. This is a
Nah.
call from Mom. I'm gonna be at the park for the next few hours, and I'm gonna be at Hobbs, and I'll be at the house later for dinner. You know,
Nice.
do not accept, but this is the check-in call. You know what I mean?
Brilliant.
You had to
That's so
finagle
good.
the system. And he was like, "Yeah, I remember you. You didn't answer in 3 rings. I gotta hang up so I can get my change back. I'm not letting it
Right.
get voicemail. I need to make a different call." I was like, "Yes, I
Oh my
forgot."
God. It's so many tricks back then.
Mhm.
Craziness. Yes, old, very old, and excellent memory. Excellent memory of all these things.
Yep.
All right. So I'm commenting because our youngins are young, and I'm not going to hold her youth and inexperience.
Tammy's like, boring.
Back in my day.
Where you had to go 8 miles.
And you were so mad when you had to dial an area code. 1. Oh no, not a 9. Anyway, all right. Getting into the penultimate round and the post with the most. Here we have a picture of Dr. Phil with a guy on his show who looks like Dr. Phil. It says at least once a month.
Yeah, we can see it the screen of everything.
Say what?
It's not showing one. It's like showing the screen of.
All right, let's try that one more time. Dankeschön. Yeah,
Yeah, it pulled one of mine's.
weird. Okay, here we go. It says at least
There we go.
we have a picture of Dr. Phil with a guy on his show who looks like Dr. Phil. It says at least once a month, I randomly remember that Dr. Phil once invited the creator of Bum Fights video series onto his show to confront him about exploiting vulnerable people for financial gain, only for him to show up dressed as Dr. Phil and point out that he does the exact same thing. Which I thought was appropriate today because ICE has been spotted with the live streaming camera crew and Dr. Phil in Chicago, live streaming ICE raids. How pathetic and horrible is that? And I checked in on Spotted in Champaign-Urbana, uncensored, and apparently somebody spotted their SUVs down here in Champaign. So I put out the word for what restaurant are they eating at? And do I know anybody who works in the kitchen? Screw you, Phil, you exploitative, worthless has-been. Moving on, here we have a 4-panel called The Life of Sharks. And we see a shark who's approaching another shark and it says, "Hey, what are you wearing?" He says, "It's a Pride t-shirt." It's, got the rainbow stripes on it. He says, "I didn't know you were LGBTQ+. He says, "I'm not, I'm being supportive." "Well, that's just virtue signaling." And he points out the Dolphins hat and says, "So when did you start playing for the Miami Dolphins?" I love that idea. Oh, do you play for the Miami? Do you play for the Miami Dolphins? You must. Here we have an interesting picture. It's a scene from Iron Man where Obadiah Stane, played by Jeff Bridges, is punching down at his technicians and scientists to build his own, super cool Iron Man suit, except that Obadiah Stane is labeled U.S. tech oligarchs, and the scientists are the AI engineers. And this is actually captioned moments after DeepSeek was released. And Stane's going, "I was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps." They really did. I don't know if you saw the numbers, but guys, they did this thing for like $5 million. And meanwhile, Silicon Valley poured each company was putting 60 billion in. Oh, we're putting in 65. Oh, we're putting, oh, do you know something smart, or do you just have a lot of money? Stupid. Anyway, moving on. Just a reminder that Susan Collins is possibly the dumbest or evilest person in the Congress. Susan Collins says she's going to go ahead and confirm Pete Hegseth, I'm sorry, Anheuser-Douche, because although she knows he's a drunk, a serial sexual predator, and abuses women, she feels he's, quote, learned his lesson. A lot of my friends are like, wow, she's stupid. I said, or evil. Stupid or evil. But she's used this before. I looked up at least one other thing. She thought that Donald Trump had learned his lesson, so she didn't vote to impeach. So there you go. Here we have the standard meme of the muscle man with a beer, hand in the air, explaining something to a completely spaced out and uninterested Barbie type looking woman who's saying, relax, bro. It's just a Roman salute, bro. Elon's just trolling, bro. Elon's the smartest dude in the world, bro. Freedom of speech, bro. It's literally what it's been like on the internet this week. Here we have the man, this guy's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I can't remember his name, but it's the character, and he's standing in front of his murder wall. You know, he's got all the papers and pictures all over it, all connected with, you know, red yarn, and he's frantically tapping and explaining stuff and smoking a cigarette. And he's saying, and it's captioned, guys who don't know where the clit is, explaining the intricacies of a hand salute. all week long, all week on the internet. Here we got a cartoon of Indiana Jones punching out a Nazi, and it says, punching Nazis is always cool. Posted in the Alcoholic Academic. Also like to remind you, Nazi lives don't matter.
Yeah.
Nice boy.
Yeah, this is posted by the Alcoholic Academic, and if you're not following the Alcoholic Academic, you're missing out on some drunken, funny, well-cited material. The other 98% posted this one of my most popular, said, apparently Elon is upset that folks have started calling Teslas swastikars. Swastikars. And that's all I've got, except for my post with the most. Brane, what you got there?
All right. Here we have I Heart Recipes puts for real. Says, back in my day, there was so much toilet paper and eggs that we would throw them at the houses of our enemies.
Dude,
there you go, Eric. Let's
dude,
see what you got.
Send me that one in Messenger, man. I need to post that. So good. I'm going to post it in Champagne Urbana uncensored and just piss everybody off. All right, my post with the most. And I got to tell you what, guys, a real banger. This one had over 1,000 views, says that it reached 621 people, and I got 41 interactions, 36 likes, 9 laughs, 1 and 5 angries. And it was this picture of the Twitter symbol. The Twitter X, except that somebody's put a hand onto it, so it's doing a Roman salute, shall we say. And yeah, this one, that was my post with the most. It was the shitter saluting. Unbelievable. That wraps up the show. That has been constitutes a full and wholly legally representation of an episode of Facebook for the Blind for January 28th, 2025. We love you. Mwah.
Woo! Love you, Beverly.
Love you, Beverly.
I'm just Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.